Good day. Welcome to Endurance Room. Hope everybody's doing well. Today, we're taking a look at a very cool piece of Finnish military gear. This is the Särmä TST Thermal Cloak from Varusteleka. The Thermal Cloak. This is an incredibly cool piece of gear, guys. You can use it as rainwear, as camouflage, a warming layer, as a shelter, a bivvy, a sleeping bag. Incredibly versatile. If you're spending any time in a cold environment, whether you're stationary or you can't have a fire for whatever reason, this could be really valuable for you. So if you're familiar with the Jerven Fjellduken, it's a piece of Norwegian military gear. This is basically a direct replacement made in Finland from Varusteleka's own in-house company, Särmä TST. They make quality military grade gear for the Finnish Defense Force that is marketed as a level up on the Finnish issued gear. So it's quality made stuff. And with everything that this does, as multifunctional as it is, it's a tremendous value. So right off the bat, they make several different versions of this cloak. This is the uninsulated version. It's very light, it packs down, very small. You could fit this in a cargo pocket if you wanted to. They also make two insulated models that are basically a bona fide sleeping bag. So if you're really out in a cold environment, the insulated models are probably the way to go. So I thought we could go through it today, talk about some of the features and the details, and then show you guys a bit about some of the applications. So first up, let's take a look at the size. Here it is, all laid out flat. It ends up being about 7 foot square. The corners are reinforced with a nice heavy duty webbing loop. You also have a webbing loop at the center seam on both ends. The camouflage is MO5. This is the summer version. They also offer the tarp in a winter version. Very cool, very effective camouflage. I'm a huge fan of the old school canvas shelter hats like the Plash Palatka. The one drawback that they have for a lot of people is they're a little bit small. They're made for somebody who's about 5'5". So in comparison, the thermal cloak is pretty much perfect as a modern day contemporary shelter hat. On the underside of the tarp, we have a mylar type lining that reflects your body heat or radiant heat from your fire. It basically makes a microclimate around your body between yourself and the tarp. To use the tarp as a cloak or camouflage, we're going to zip it up at the head and leave a little bit of space. And then we're going to zip it up about 3/4 of the way on the long side. Next, we'll secure it with our belt. I can already feel my body heat collecting on the inside. It's very warm. Let's check it out as a camouflage. As a hunting garment, it's really excellent because not only does it offer camouflage, but it's going to block the wind, the elements, and let you sit for hours at a time, staying warm. Pretty cool, right? You're covered from head to toe, all the way down to your feet. To use the cloak as a bivvy, I like to run my sleeping pad on the inside of the bag. That helps get me up off the ground and still take advantage of the heat reflecting properties. It also lets you use a much lighter weight sleeping bag than you typically would for the environmental conditions. You could use a summer weight bag right now and be toasty warm thanks to this heat reflection. Really cool. So this is option 1 for the bivvy. Option 2, I've got it tied off at the top and then staked down at my toes. It gives you a very quick, simple, and effective shelter. You get a nice little opening here. If you had a small fire, say a Dakota pit going, you get nice radiant heat coming off of that and be toasty warm. Option 3, I've got a paracord ridgeline run overhead that the cloak is clipped into. My sleeping pad is on the inside, giving me some width on the bottom. I've got room for myself, my backpack, my sleeping gear. It is an enclosed one-man shelter, and it takes no time at all to set up. If I'm worried about rain, I would run it with a zipper on the bottom side, and I would have total overhead protection. Very, very cool. It is toasty warm in here. I don't even need a sleeping bag at this point. Awesome. Let's check out a couple more traditional tarp configurations. As a lean-to, you got a good bit of cover for yourself, fire out front, room for your gear, great warm weather shelter, or if you just need to get off the trail and get out of the elements real quick, it's perfect. We've got our plow point. So we have 3 sides of cover overhead and both sides, an opening at the front for radiant heat from our fire. Running diagonally from the corner to the back where it's staked down is probably about 9 feet in length. So you've got a good amount of cover there. Great little shelter for quick and efficient setup. And as a low profile shelter option, this is about 25 yards away. And even with the summer camouflage, that blends in very, very well. It's got an irregular shape. It's relatively low to the ground. And if you were to put that back into some trees, under some pines, it would be very, very well hidden. Okay, last but not least is good old A-frame. I lowered the ridge line a little bit. 4 stakes. And just like that, incredibly easy and efficient to set up. With the A-frame, you've got a good amount of cover. There's enough room for 2 people in here, or at least 1 person and their gear. You could fit 2 people in here. It'd be a little bit tight, but if you needed to, it would work. In warmer weather, this would be a really great option. Here we are from about 30 yards away. Pretty low profile, low vis. If you position it under the trees or in some heavier cover, this would be a very stealthy option. And there you have it, the Särmä TST Thermal Cloak from Varusteleka. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions for me about the cloak, just let me know down below. I have a link for you down there as well if you want to check it out for yourself. But I think it is tremendous value when you consider everything that it does. It's rainwear, camouflage, bivvy bag, sleeping bag, shelter. Totally awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you soon. Cheers, everybody.